In this video, we're gonna watch the pre-purchase trailer for the Corsairs of Umbar expansion, and after that, we're gonna break down every little thing we can see in the video and talk about it. But before the breakdown, let's just play the 1-minute trailer. So, having watched the video, it's time to break down every piece of the video and talk about it. In the beginning, we can see the Standing Stone Games logo. I'm pretty sure this means that Standing Stone Games is releasing this update. As soon as the trailer begins, we see a beautiful shot of what I believe is Western Gondor. You can see smoke in the background from the beacon. And although I'm no expert, I'm fairly certain that this is Western Gondor. Could be Outer Gondor, but it's definitely part of Gondor. But once again, the landscape is always beautiful in LOTRO. That's something they always get right. So I have no doubts about the landscape in LOTRO. It's gonna be great. Next up, we have a shot of two characters running on the road. And this is definitely Western Gondor. This might even be Outer King's Gondor. You can see all these mountains. It might actually be a new area in Western King's Gondor. So east of Dol Amroth, there's actually a mountain path opening up, which will be a new area we haven't seen before. The traditional Gondor does not have that mountain pass opened up. This is footage from one of my beta reports, and as we can see, Western King's Gondor Belfalas, we have Dol Amroth, and to the east, this mountain pass has actually opened up. Whereas in the normal Gondor, all of this mountain area is closed off, so you kind of have to go like around, get south to Dor Erleil. But this whole area has opened up. And I think it's possible where we see the people running might be somewhere in this area, running on the road with a lot of mountains around. It's definitely a possibility. But once again, the landscape looks great. Moving on, our next shot is, let's go back a little bit before we see the text. Now this is definitely Outer Gondor, because I seem to recall the landscape, all the mountains with all the trees, and the landscape itself kind of changes. The elevation goes up and down a bit. So this is definitely Outer Gondor. Again, looks great. Can't wait to explore. We're getting over 350 quests, and I think that's pretty standard for a big expansion with level cap increase. But questing in this game is also something I really enjoy. I can't wait to do some questing again. It's just gonna be a good time. We've got some more footage of Outer Gondor and some fighting going on down here. There's some orcs fighting what seems to be a mariner. I wonder if the other class is also a mariner. So we go from this beautiful overhead shot, and then we go a bit closer to watch the combat a bit close on. I think it looks like two mariners. This one is definitely a mariner with the dagger and the sword. This character in the background doesn't really have a sword, but it definitely looks like a mariner as well. But also, once again, the landscape looks beautiful. Beautiful shot of the landscape. The next shot is a shot of a Corsair camp, it looks like. Looking at the big bridge in the back left made me think this is Outer Gondor. But then again, I do kind of recall this being the Corsair camp just west of Dol Amroth, which kind of leads me to believe that this is the camp in question, the one I'm hovering over here. Just south of Dol Amroth, there's a big Corsair camp. Of course, the ocean is nearby, and there's a few islands. We look at this and think that this is the camp. There should be a few, 1, 2, 3 islands, one smaller island in the middle with something sticking out. And I'm pretty sure this little thing here is the tower that we see on the small island. The small island in the front with the beacon or the tower. And then the bigger islands on the sides. So this is definitely south of Dol Amroth. I don't remember the big bridge being there. I guess it is there on normal Gondor. But pretty safe to say that this is a Corsair camp just south of Dol Amroth. No enemies in here yet, but I'm sure they'll be added for when the expansion goes live. Another shot more close-up of the Corsair area. The next shot is more Corsair camps. You can see the way the houses or the tents look. It's definitely a Corsair camp. But this seems to be a different place than what we just saw. More of a ruins place as well. This could potentially be in the mountainsides near Dol Amroth, or even more south from Dol Amroth. If I recall, there's some Corsair camps there too. When they zoom out, there's a gate, a half-open gate. You can see a quest ring at the bottom. Just about see it before they cut out. Well, there's some quest giver here giving you quests. And obviously you probably go in here and kill some Corsairs and whatnot. Usual questing style of LOTRO. You can also see the flag with the bloodied swords on the right here. But I'm not sure where this is. Could be in Outer Gondor. But I also feel like this could be the southern parts of Belfalas, south of Dol Amroth. I seem to recall there being a Corsair camp way south there, where you actually go and do some quests in normal Gondor as well. There's no question about it. This is Dol Amroth. Beautiful panning shot of the great city of Dol Amroth. And it also lists on the text 4 distinct regions. And speaking of those 4 regions, let's see if we can take a look at what exactly that means from my beta report. Let's go through it a little bit. So what exactly do we have with the new expansion? Of course, we're going to get the rest of King's Gondor, so Western King's Gondor, but also the new Outer King's Gondor. This is, of course, as we know, Belfalas, where Dol Amroth is found. We can see that the mountain pass has opened up, so there's going to be some differences with Belfalas, with this Western King's Gondor. We have a map of one of the 2 new zones in Outer King's Gondor, Anfalas. The other one is Pinath Gelyn. As we can see, the road leads north to Pinath Gelyn. We have a map of Blackroot Vale, King's Gondor, and we can see that Tarling's Crown is actually put on the wrong side. It should be down here. Hopefully they fix that with the update going live. But this area will probably be similar to what we know before. We cannot enter the Paths of the Dead, as far as I know, on the Western King's Gondor. But the path to the west here has opened up. And from here, we can actually enter Outer King's Gondor. So we could actually venture further west with the King's Gondor update. This is a map of Lamedon from King's Gondor. Also looks fairly similar, I would say. Obviously, there's going to be small minor differences throughout the zones, but that's something we'll see when the game goes live. Pinath Gelyn is the second part of Outer King's Gondor. To the south is Anfalas, but it's kind of hidden behind my pictures there. But also worth noting, to the west we have a 2 Andrest, and when Scenario was doing his landscape streams, he actually did mention that in the future they are planning to opening up the entry to Andrest, and Andrest should be part of some sort of future update. So in the future we should be able to travel even further west into Gondor. And the last map screenshot that we have is, of course, the Shield Isles of Umbar. So the first zone was Western King's Gondor. Then we have Outer King's Gondor. The third one is the Shield Isles of Umbar, which consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different boat travels and a lot of small tiny islands. So you can definitely do a lot of exploration in these areas. So this is like the first taste of the brand new areas we're going to get to. Obviously in Western King's Gondor, we've been there before, we kind of know what it's like. Outer King's Gondor, yes, it's new, but it's still going to be fairly similar to Gondor, which we know. The Shield Isles of Umbar will definitely be brand new. We're getting further south than we've ever been before, and the areas are going to be more jungle looking. Going to be new creatures, and of course there's going to be beautiful, beautiful waves. Just take a look. This is from my second beta report. You can actually see waves coming in from the ocean. It looks really nice. Really nice touch for us going south. Getting more of that being in the vast ocean feeling. But the waves look great. And just to get a quick look at what the Shield Isles might look like, you can see some of it right here on this footage. It's definitely different from anything we've seen before. You can see new type of trees, more palm trees, I guess. I don't think we've seen those before. And I'm just going to quickly show some of the Umbar areas. You can see it's brand new, like new buildings, new kind of style we've never seen before. And you can see that the landscape is more, it's more like a jungle. I mean, we are getting more south and more southeast, so it makes sense. jungle type area. So we're definitely going to see some new types of creatures that we haven't seen before, and maybe some existing creatures that look slightly different because of the environment and everything surrounding this area. I went a bit further along into Umbar. We can still see all the beautiful waves coming in this little town close to Umbar. And then of course it's Umbar itself, which looks great. I think they did a really good job with the city. I am a bit concerned about the performance issues in this city though. Kind of similar to what we had with Minas Tirith when that was made, but hopefully it turns out good. The city in itself looks great. There's no map yet of Umbar, but the city looks amazing, especially the Colosseum in the background is something I really enjoyed. But those are the 4 distinct regions we're getting. It is Western King's Gondor, Outer King's Gondor, there is the Shield Isles, and it's Umbar and the Cape of Umbar. 4 brand new distinct regions. This next shot here is the first look in the trailer of the brand new city of Umbar. Beautiful panning shot of the new city. Obviously with this being a pre-purchased trailer, there's not like a lot of people filled into the city yet. Is that a player I sense all the way there? It's pretty tiny. Let me slow it down a bit. Go back a bit, I mean. Is that one player they hired to make the city look populated, or like did they go like, all right Kevin, we're good to go, shooting now, start running, here we go. Yes Kevin, good running down there, excellent. That really made a shot, that one person running in the background. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. But getting aside, the city looks great. It's a really different feel from anything we've seen before, and I think they did a really good job making the city feel different from the other places of Middle-earth, as it should be. This is an entirely new part of Middle-earth, one we've never really seen before. It's a kind of uncharted territory. Like in the books and the movies, we don't really go down here. We see the Oliphants, we see the Haradrim coming to fight for Sauron, and of course we see the Corsair ships coming up to attack Gondor that Aragorn and the Army of Dead take care of. But largely this is uncharted territory for both the game and just the lore in general. I can't wait to see what they do with this expansion and then future expansions going deeper into Haradwaith. One thing that will change when this update goes live or in the future, we have our big regions throughout the world. We have Eriador, we have Rhovanion, we have Rohan, Gondor, and Mordor, obviously. Those are the 5 main big areas. With the introduction of Harad and Umbar, like Harad itself, we will get a brand new big area. Southeast part, down here on the right, is going to be called a Haradwaith. So with this expansion, we should be able to hover over here and get like a plus symbol, like all of these 5. That is called Haradwaith. So with update 38, we will have Eriador, Rhovanion, Rohan, Gondor, Mordor, and Haradwaith. And just the fact that they turning Haradwaith into like a big area probably means they have further plans going further east into Harad and Khand, hopefully. I definitely want to see more of the eastern parts south here, and maybe our future path could be going from Umbar all the way down here in the south, slowly heading east into Harad and Khand, and then eventually maybe we could experience the rest of Mordor. There's still like 75% left of Mordor to explore. With the Mordor expansion, we basically got the thing I'm hovering over here, like the northwestern part, and there's still 3 corners of Mordor to explore. I would love to go to the Sea of Nirn, Lithlad. Seems like it's in like an icy area, would be interesting to visit. The only places we've been to have been the main places in the northwest of Mordor, but I'd really love to visit the mountain areas down in the southwest, the Sea of Nirn in like the middle, and then the southeastern and northeastern parts of Mordor, and then who knows, maybe in the future we might venture beyond the map of Mordor even further east to find out what's there. But that seems like a likely scenario in my opinion, that we definitely will head further into Harad. Maybe we'll go all the way to Khand. Who knows, maybe we'll at some point meet the Blue Wizards. That'd be pretty cool. Meeting Alatar and Palando, and maybe one day back to Mordor. But back to Harad, this is our first shot of the city. So obviously we have the city. There's also quite a large area surrounding the city where you can actually do some quests and stuff, because just questing in the city would be kind of boring. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of quests here, but there's also going to be quests on the outskirts of Umbar as well, the Cape of Umbar. Moving on in the trailer, we get a shot of a beautiful water fountain inside Umbar. As always, it looks great. The city looks great. Obviously, not a lot of people yet, because this is early footage of the production. Another overhead shot of the fountain. We can see some marketplaces in the background. Can't wait to explore the city. This next shot, kind of like a rocky overhanging leading outside of... I don't think this is Umbar. From what I recall, it's one of the small towns in the Shield Isles. As we can see, there's like an island out here. There's a beautiful rainbow. But this is definitely one of the Shield Isles little towns. And I think this might be the town called Halrox. Because I remember when you take the boat travel, you get to the docks of Halrox. And I think this is where I remember seeing the stone overhanging, like the entrance to the little town. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the Shield Isles. And I do think it's Halrox, but I can't guarantee it. And now on the next shot, we see a brand new creature coming with this expansion. That's right, we are getting a crocodile. So for the first time ever in LOTRO, you can actually go crocodile hunting, be your own version of Crocodile Dundee. Where exactly is this area though? Like the background, the trees in the background leads me to believe this is some part of the Shield Isles. I don't remember seeing this, although I didn't explore that much in the new areas yet. I do know there's crocodiles east of Umbar, the city itself, but looking at this seems like it's definitely the Shield Isles. So maybe we'll see crocodiles even before we get to the areas of Umbar. But it's going to be nice fighting some new creatures, so can't wait to get to fight some crocodiles. And on the next shot, I do believe what we're seeing here is the Shield Isles. We can see the shipwreck, and that probably means that for sure the previous image of the crocodile was on the Shield Isles, like I suspected. But this is a beautiful panning shot of the Shield Isles. Some unfortunate sailors seem to have met their end here, at least their ship did. This is definitely a shipwreck, I'm pretty sure. And the text does say, "Become the Mariner." And the Mariner is the brand new class. It's already live in the game. If you pre-order the expansion, you can already play the Mariner. And I have actually made a guide for the Mariner. If people are interested, you can find that on my channel. And I also played the Mariner quite a lot. And I will say I find it really enjoyable. When it comes to the class itself, this is a trait line for the Mariner. I'm just going to briefly talk about Mariner. This is not a Mariner guide, it's a trailer breakdown. So they do have a red line, the duelist, which is your DPS line. And that's definitely the line I find the most fun to play. Really good, strong DPS, and really fun rotation and skills to use as well. There's a lot of different combinations you can do, depending on the fights, but a really well done class in my opinion. Blue line is their sort of red cappy type line, where you can still deal good damage, but also buff your group's damage and give them different kind of buffs as well. Blue line, I would also say, is pretty fun. And then finally, we have the yellow line, which is kind of like a burglar, a lore master type of line. This is the one I find the least fun to play, although I haven't really tried it that much, but it doesn't seem to be that great. It can certainly do a decent job instead of a burg or a lore master. But as of right now, I don't see yellow replacing the Loremaster nor the Burglar in a raid. I think the Mariner's main use will be the fun red line DPS or the pretty fun blue line support DPS. I'll play the trailer a little bit more. We can see some footage of the Mariner fighting, actually fighting a lion. I haven't seen a male lion. I believe I've seen female lions on Bulwer, but this is actually a male lion. So we're gonna see lions as well. And looking at the background, this could of course be the Shield Isles, but it doesn't look like island-like. It's definitely possible. I feel like the lions won't be at the islands, so this is more than likely this is like somewhere outside Umbar or in the parts of Harad, not on the islands. It could be on the islands of course, but this feels like it's part of the mainland where the lions would live. But it's going to be really cool to see lions in LOTRO. Another first time creature ever. We have this weird lizard looking creature. I don't know what you would call this. Now this, I do believe, is like the beach area of Harad. See a lot of land in the background. Because I remember on Bulwer there's like a big stretch of like a beach, a shoreline beach. And this seems like they're on the beach fighting whatever this creature is. Kind of like a lizard looking creature. There's a new type of dragon. Looks like kind of poisonous. I do see like a beacon looking thing. Is this a Gondorian structure, or is it more like Umbar-like structure. To me, this looks more Gondorian, I would say. Maybe this is Dol Amroth, and these trees looks Gondorian. Maybe this is Outer Gondor or Western King's Gondor. Hard to say, but there's a new type of dragon for sure. Okay, so we see another... Might be Dol Amroth in the background here. Maybe we're in the mountainside. Kind of hard to say. Now this is definitely Outer King's Gondor. One of the new towns, I don't remember the names exactly. But the background here is definitely Outer King's Gondor. And this is, I think, the town with the little lifts you can click on and just teleport up and down. More footage of that same town, I believe. Don't remember the name. But yeah, this is more of the same town. See these little docks down here. I believe this is one of the docks where you can actually go to the Shield Isles from. Or to Umbar even. I think here and Dol Amroth are like the two main places you can travel to the Shield Isles and to Dol Amroth. But this is one of the new towns in Outer King's Gondor, I believe, where you can cross further west into Outer King's Gondor and eventually reach Ghyn. We have a few more looks at what I believe is the Shield Isles. Yeah, all these small islands. Ocean looks really good, I think. The ocean, the sky always looks beautiful in LOTRO. Ocean looks nice. I'm really happy with the waves they added. Really adds to the feeling of the game. This is another screenshot of Outer King's Gondor at nighttime. Once again, looks really good. And that's pretty much the end of the trailer. The pre-purchase trailer for the Corsairs of Umbar. I think obviously there is going to be a normal trailer as well for the update. They usually do that. They usually do a pre-purchase, like a shorter one like this one. And then when we get closer to release, there should be a release trailer as well. And a little birdie told me there might be a release trailer from a certain someone as well. Just like the Gundabad trailer had a release trailer from a certain somebody. So although there will probably be an official trailer that I will of course look at and also break down, there might be a trailer called Corsairs of Ghynbar coming at some point. We'll see, we'll see. Keep your eyes open. But I think that concludes my breakdown of the trailer. A lot of things to look forward to. Can't wait for new content and the new expansion. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe, as it does help out the channel. And as always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing, as it really helps out the channel. And if you like LOTRO, I would really recommend joining my Discord servers. You can also support me directly through my Ko-fi website. If you're playing or looking to play Lord of the Rings online, there is one place you need to be. The Ghyniverse is a Discord server created for the community of the players of Lord of the Rings Online. The server is getting close to 7,000 members, and in this server you'll find tons of helpful information. There's monthly giveaways, easy access to patch notes, you can keep up with my YouTube videos, my streams. If you're a streamer, you can ask for the streamer role and you can announce your streams in the other stream channel. There are discussion channels for pretty much everything, every class, monster players. But the best thing about this server is probably the Gearing Resources tab, where you can find anything from trait lines for every class, every build. There are stat goals, where you can find out what stats you should aim for on your characters. Really helpful information about drop rates from instances, as well as screenshot from all the new loot that appears in the game. If you enjoy LOTRO, you should definitely consider joining this server, and hopefully I'll see you in Middle-earth. If you were part of the Ghyniverse already, you might have noticed that another tab appeared at the top, the LFF server. This server is a brand new server that I created, the LFF Ghyniverse. In this server, you can select which servers you want to keep up with, and once you select your server, say you select Arkenstone, you will see the LFF, the kinship advertisement, looking for kinship and trade channels, and there's also voice channels if people want to use those. The LFF channel is basically a looking for fellowship channel, where people can post if they need players for the runs, and this way people don't have to be logged into the game to see the chat. They can just instead get a notification on their Discord. There's also a kinship advertisement page where kins can post their kinship advertisement and have people join their kins, and you can also post in the looking for kinship chat if you're looking for a kinship, but make sure to take a look in the kinship advertisement first and look through all the kin to find a suitable kin for you. There's also a trade channel if people want to buy or sell stuff that you can use. Hopefully you'll consider joining this server to bring the community even more together, not just in the game, but also outside of the game.